Hello, my name is Isabella Valdez, and I chose acid rock and Pink Floyd. So, what is acid rock? Acid rock began in about the 1960s. During this time period, there was a big hippie movement, and hippies only wanted love, peace, and happiness in their lives because they wanted peace, which means they were against war and they were against materialistic objects, including like money. The overall goal was to just have love and to form a community to spread the love. During this time, LSD was also created, and a lot of hippies would use this drug, and a lot of musicians use this drug as well. And in acid rock, often distorted sounds were being created to help with the high and the trip they were taking with the drug. The formation of Pink Floyd. So Roger, or Syd Barrett, was pretty much the founder of Pink Floyd. He then gathered Roger Waters, David Gilmour, Nick Mason, and Rick Wright to be a part of his band. He came up with the name Pink Floyd because of the musicians Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. Although he was kind of the founder of this band, he left the group 3 years later. Pink Floyd was highly influenced by politics. One of the main singer-songwriters was Roger Waters, and he was very passionate about problems in politics for that time period, and a lot of their songs were about politics. Some of the biggest albums, in my opinion, that were heavily influenced by politics was Animals and The Wall. The album Animals, in my opinion, was the most influenced because of just the songs and the lyrics. A lot of people did not like Animals just because of how controversial it was, and they didn't agree with what was being said, and so a lot of people weren't really fond of it. But in my opinion, it's probably one of their best albums just because of how real it is. If you ever have the chance and curious of seeing how political this album was, I recommend watching the 2016 Pig performance by Roger Waters in Mexico City. And The Wall was pretty political as well. The fashion trends that Pink Floyd was influenced by was pretty much what was going on during that time. So often a lot of psychedelic art was being made, along with different kind of clothes that was groovy. During this time, really vivid, bright colors were popular, and so a lot of the time, clothes that was being worn were very bright and colorful. As you can see, Roger Waters standing there with his pink scarf and his orange blouse. Overall, very colorful. A lot of times it was more loose and flowy to get that comfortable feel, and yeah, this was pretty much how the clothes was during this time period. The instrumentation of Pink Floyd, in my opinion, is one of the most advanced I have ever heard. Each album they have is uniquely different from each other. They all have different kind of feels to them. So like in the Animals album, I talk about that one a lot. It's my favorite one. In the song Pigs, for example, they use a lot more harder riffs, faster guitar, and halfway through the song, it has a different kind of, it changes its speed, tempo, tone, and I think it's just very well put together musically. And their Animals album was influenced by the Animal Farm book, I think by Steve Orwell, and the book was about the Industrial Revolution and the formation of a government, and the pigs were the leaders. So as you can see, we're just going very political, and during the song, he actually incorporated pig sounds. So Roger Waters and David Gilmour, they both would use a heel talk box. It's an instrument that it's connected to, I believe, the guitar, and a part of it goes in your mouth, and it makes just different sounds. And I don't know how they do it, but they made a pig sound, and it's so weird. I've never heard anything like that before, but definitely very unique, and it's hard to forget that song. And then you go to Wish You Were Here album, and in this one, I feel like they used, guitars still, but a lot of synthesizers in their song Welcome to the Machine. Very heavily synthesized, distorted. What you think of acid rock, that's it. And then you go to The Wall, and then I feel like that's a whole different feel. So a lot of the albums just have their own kind of theme to it, all within the acid rock realm, but with their own twist, and that's what makes Pink Floyd's music very unique. Pink Floyd is one of the most popular bands to have risen from fame. They have been very influential to newer bands from today's time back to like the 70s. Some of these bands include U2, David Bowie, Kraftwerk, 9 Inch Nails, and Radiohead. U2's album, The Joshua Tree, was the most influence from their albums of Pink Floyd. They used similar music production to achieve that. They were also good friends with Roger Waters, so I do believe there's another album by U2 that Roger Waters produced. Same with David Bowie. David Bowie and Pink Floyd were good friends, so they were just big fans of each other, supportive of each other, and you could see a little bit of the similarities and influences in David Bowie as you can see in Pink Floyd. And yeah, that's my presentation. Thank you so much for watching my presentation, and I just wanted to say congratulations to the class of 2022 that's graduating this coming up weekend. We all deserve it, and yeah, thank you everybody.